Hello, I'm Tikka, and welcome back to another live stream on the internet. Today I'm going to be here in my Let's Play world. You might recognize this if you watch the Let's Plays. If you don't, then, you know, I swear this is from other videos. But yeah, today we're here in the Let's Play world because I'm going to be working on the pathway. It's something I worked on a little bit over 2 Let's Play episodes, but there's still lots of just inconsistencies, holes, and I want to kind of just finish the pathway all in one time, so that's why we're making today's video. So, yeah, we're going to be going all the way over to the roof forest, which is found all the way over there. We're going to be going via the Nether, so let's just fly there right now. And yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun because, I don't know, the whole pathway thing is kind of an enjoyable thing. Also, yeah, the prison, in case you're curious, still being worked on, will still be part of the regular Let's Play, but this is just like something where I was like, you know what, it didn't get finished during episodes, but I really wanted to do it, so I figured why not live stream it regardless, because honestly, there's a few things, I feel like the, you know, Let's Plays are really great for some things, and I feel like live streams are great for others. They're a little bit longer, and they give me an opportunity to get, like, live feedback on something and ask, like, a real question. Because every now and then, again, I've said this before, and I'll say it a million times again, but there's things where I'm just curious as to, like, you know, is this just a me thing? And, oh, no. My internet isn't working correctly. No! No! Why, internet? Why do you do this to me? No! I hate live streaming so much. I mean, what did I do wrong to you, internet? How did I hurt you? Okay, so I'm gonna just take a little bit. I'm gonna fix this, and then we'll get back to this. Man, I love live streaming sometimes, and then every time I do, I'm like really into it. There's always a technical error, because like live streaming, it's like still not something that like the vast majority of the world does, you know. So and my game speed left on apparently, but live streaming is something I guess like that is still fairly new. So there's just always some tech issues somewhere. So I'm very sorry about whatever just happened for the start of this video. But hello, I'm Tikka, and welcome back to another live stream. Today it's like it's starting with problems, but you know that's what live streams are all about, really. It's the fact that it's live, and well, I mean, okay, get this. I'm gonna blow your minds, but like, oh no, I forgot to turn off invite only or turn on invite only. Pro tip, by the way, if I'm ever streaming and I accidentally leave on invite only, a lot of people are like, oh, that must mean I should join the game. But it's like, I mean, you know the world's solo, so I have to back out and go back in one more time. But this time we don't need to. Okay, there we go. Let's do this. So yeah, I don't know why, but every now and then the invite only thing turns itself off. Still go turn it on. By the way, here's my proof. No host privileges. No creative. Pure survival world. Been playing it for 5 years now. It's pretty crazy actually. It's pretty crazy. That didn't happen. I don't know what's wrong with my internet. Like I said, I've said this before, but like I pay for like essentially streaming internet. Like it has to give me X amount of quality all the time. It's not like up to X. It's like minimum X, and X is like 3 times what I used to stream, and then sometimes it's not. So I guess I've got to go and contact someone about that. Honestly, you know, sometimes I'm like, you know, okay, it's conspiracy theory Tikka here. I wonder if like a lot of companies just claim things under the assumption that you'll never check, because who even knows what an upload speed is, you know? Like, I mean, I don't even know what that is. So yeah, what we're going to do today to make the pathway, because if you don't know, pathway, we're using a lot of pathway blocks. We're going to make them go across the world, and we already have done most of that. But one of the things I realized I could do... Oh, big thank you, Nate Watson, for the $3 super chat, who says, we ever do videos on the Education Edition. See, the thing is, even though I like educating people and educational videos, that's what a lot of my channel is about, I don't know that the Education Edition allows me to do that. I think the Education Edition is meant for, like, teachers to teach students, so they use it in classrooms, but, like, my videos aren't necessarily a classroom. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I guess you'd have to tell me what my videos are, not me. But yeah, that's the reasoning behind that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these, you know, this part of the thing, we're going to turn it into pathway blocks, and then we're going to use our silk touch little thing. We're going to take it up, and then, oh, it actually doesn't work to silk touch it. But yeah, that's how we're going to do things. We're going to silk touch the grass, and then we're going to turn it into pathway blocks there. You know, I swear, you used to be able to silk touch things, and I checked it because someone was like, oh, Tikka, you need to do that. And then, you know, mistakes are mistakes are mistakes. Live streams are wonderful just for that reason. So yeah, hello everyone. I hope everything's going okay. What happened? Oh, is everyone still here? So yeah, you need to have a decent internet connection to stream. I think it's 7 mbs to 10 mbs. So it depends on the quality you're streaming. At 720p, you can use like okay, no, we're talking about internet speeds here, but let's do it. So you need about like 2 to 3 mbps to stream at 720p. It's like 4 or 5 if you're doing 60 fps. If it's 1080p, YouTube recommends 6 to 9. But then for, again, 60 FPS, you need a bit more. The stream stopped for everyone in chat, apparently. I don't know why that is. I don't get YouTube sometimes, you know. I don't get it. Reload everyone. So yeah, this is technical problems, the live stream where sometimes we play Minecraft and sometimes we talk about real things. But also in the meantime, we can just, you know, get stuff done. So yeah, like I said, I mean, it's really interesting technical issues because they, you know, they're really just a sign that like something hasn't been done before, hasn't been tested and vetted and stuff. And in live streaming, it's such a fairly new phenomenon, and a lot of people who do live stream don't do it directly. They'll do it through, you know, some other service. And although you don't get as good quality that way, it's something. Again, most people are just fine, like, you know, I'll just take that. So what I try to do is I stream, you know, from the setup so I can try and get the best stuff. And then every now and then what happens is, right now, if you don't know, the stream started and it started dropping frames, so like no one could see anything. And now YouTube said the stream is over, even though it's not. It's just one of those things where it's like, you know, some days things go against you. And I think maybe there's an important lesson in there, and like, you know, you gotta persevere, because the world is never on your side. Like, sometimes the world might align with your views, but you know, the truth is it's always gonna be like you versus the world. And so, you know, sometimes that comes in the form of live streaming issues, and sometimes it comes in more direct forms. But you know, maybe there's a lesson in these live stream perils, which, like I said, it's the most stressful thing in the world, at least for me as a YouTuber. Like, maybe I feel like some YouTubers don't care quite as much about YouTube and this stuff, and it's probably a good idea, honestly. But like for me, it's like, you know, I try to make sure that there's always like minimum standards met for quality. So, you know, if you want to enjoy your daily toy count or your weekly toy count or whatever your frequency, your twice daily toy count, I would hope, because that's how often I upload. I like to make it so that, you know, you can get a minimum standard for that. But some YouTubers think, you know, let's just chill, and maybe that's what I should do. And, you know, like I said, the world's not always on your side, and sometimes it feels like it's fighting directly against you. But the truth is, it's just, you know, it's just the world. Worlds don't know things. So hello everyone, I'm here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw some blocks around here. Gonna keep on pathway blocking them around as we go, because I wanna make this like fully pathway complete. Because in the videos, in the let's plays I did on this, I did like most of it, and there's just huge gaps in it. And I figure let's connect up those gaps right now. So yeah, okay. So the first thing, for instance, because this is live stream, so that means we can go back and forth. I can even add polls to the screen, although we won't do that right now. One of the things I wanted to ask, because again, it's one of these like everything or just me things, because again, every now and then something just comes to me. Again, like I guess I wake up from my sleep, or like it's in my sleep. I'm not sure which, but that happened to me on plane sleep of all places, where I realized that my school had a system called like Bell Monitor. And chat, I'm gonna need you to tell me again. First of all, tell me which country you live in, or which part of the country you live in. And second of all, tell me if your school ever had like a bell monitor system. That's what we called it at our school. But like a system where essentially they take students out of class so you can run like errands for the school itself. Like, you know, you'd run like messages around, and you have to make coffee for people, if you believe that, or tea and stuff like that. Tell me if your school had it, because it was one of those things where as soon as I realized that was like this, it's funny, every time you reevaluate like your life, you know, from a different time, you realize just how weird it can, you know, it can be sometimes. Because in the moment, you just like, your whole focus is on like getting through all these various issues. But after the fact, sometimes you can realize like, wait a minute, was that real? So yeah, tell me where you're from, and if you had like a system where they took you out of class for a day and you worked for the school. Tell me where, if you had that. I live in Australia, and I do, says Adam Jackson, who's a sponsor, by the way. That's how I can link the messages there. Do you come from the land down under? A lot of people from America are just like, oh, your accent's not American. You must be from, what, like Canada, like Australia? Like one of the English-speaking countries, because you don't seem to speak in that slightly different way that I know as foreigners do. But it's not quite American. None of my school ever did that. Nope, in USA. UK did it, but it started after I left, says Cooltail. Also, it's weird to me that a school would start doing that. Like, you know, because I can understand where it just keeps existing, because it's always been that way. But it's kind of weird. England, Southwest, yes. England, we do have reception duty. You know, reception duty sounds like more accurate, honestly. We do messages, but not tea. Turkey, and yes, it's in Turkey too. I don't know any viewers in Turkey, but I do. I mean, obviously, I guess I have someone in Turkey. We call it an ambassador, says Carl Charles. You gotta tell me where you're from. I'm in Norway. You gotta give me both bits. Like, do they have it there in Norway though? That's the key part. It's called a TA. Is that like teaching assistant? Because that sounds like something else. He knifes lax. I've never heard that system before. Yes, and the movie works. I wouldn't get in trouble. Okay, so it does. And America, Florida. Yes, we did. Says Fire Tree Gaming. So it looks like some places in America do it. Most places in the UK do it. And lots of random countries around the world do it. So it seems like more people are saying yes than no. We did it US. And okay, so now that we can all agree this is a thing we all did, it's not just a my school was crazy thing. Think about how ridiculous the concept of, you know, TA, bell duty, reception duty, bell monitor. Think about how ridiculous it is that, like, you go to this establishment every single day because you want to get an education. Your parents send you every day because they don't want you to be illiterate. Oh, I assume anyway. Realistically, most parents send their kids to school because, like, I mean, kids are a lot of effort and schools deal with that for you. But the interesting thing about all that is the fact that you go to school to get that, and then they're like, actually, you know, just because the students love it because they're not learning, wouldn't it be cool if you actually just did free work for us? And yeah, again, like students love it. Like I was so excited the one day. I think I only did it, yeah, one day in my entire like school career. I don't know how that works out, but it did. Only one day in the entire year, because it's like, oh yeah, well, you know, would you like to not do that? And I was like, heck yeah, no school for me. But the truth is that's like, oh yeah, so I left my house that day to go and work for the school. And it's funny, I remember a lot of what I did when I was doing whatever that's called, you know, a community ambassador. Oh, that's a fancy term, Weekly Fox. But I was thinking about like all the tasks I had to do, and like again I did it like one time, and it's really again like making like coffee for like teachers. That's literally intern level stuff, except there's an intern. Which, I mean, you can argue about whether that's even a good thing or not. But, you know, like, even as an intern, it's like, at least like, oh yeah, there's something in return. This is like, you know, we are just assuming that students want to give us, want to come in here and make us all, I don't know, there's something a little bit nefarious about that, right? Something nefarious. Almost as stupid as the idea of being suspended. Oh yeah, that's right, where they're like, you know what, you've been really bad, so we're gonna make sure you don't have to go to that thing you don't like. I think it's weird actually that like a lot of times school recognizes that they don't want you being there, right? And a lot of times that you don't want to be there. And sometimes they recognize they pretend like, oh no, everyone loves school. School is everyone's favorite thing. I've said this before. No, I'll say it again, even though it's not going to change anything. But I feel like learning that. You know how everyone's always like, oh, school's the best time. That's not true. No, I still don't think back and think, you know, I love my life now significantly more than I liked in school. But a lot of people who do get reminiscent about school, they're like, oh yeah, well, I mean, it would be cool to learn stuff. Wouldn't it be cool if you could like learn to like it while you were in the thing? Like, I feel like that's the most valuable like lesson you could teach. Like, if you could just teach students or whatever how to like learning, or in fact, just don't force it on them. Like homework. I feel like homework is the individual thing that made me hate school, because it's like no, you know, wait, you want me to be there in your lesson all day? You know, 6 hours a day you go to school, right? Or 8 hours, or wait, I mean, let me work this out actually. I think I arrived at like 9, left at 3. Yeah, 6 hours with an hour for lunch and like 15 minutes for break. You know, you don't spend much time at all actually doing lessons in school, do you? That's like 4.5 hours off. Whatever. Anyway, so you spend 5 hours a day learning, and that's kind of cool. Like, wow, I'm learning about how the universe works. And then they're like, oh yeah, so as well as that, to prove something, we don't know what, but we're gonna force teachers to send you home with work that you have to go do there because, I mean, like, reasons and stuff. And if you don't do it, you know, obviously we want to make it fair, so we're gonna try and, you know, ruin your life in some way. And it's like, wait. This is silly. And I know it's meant to it's meant to prove like, oh yeah, in the real adult world you're meant to do stuff at home, but like it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't seem to prove that for me at least. It just kind of like, okay. Here's the fundamental issue with like homework as a system, right? It's the fact that like as if you do it, you have a fundamental interest in like having the teacher come and like collect it, 'cause otherwise you'd have nothing. And if you didn't do it, you have a fundamental interest in that. No, I don't. I just feel like it's such a bad system. There's a billion different ways we can do things, and there's so many things that are just set up in like ways that we wouldn't do if we're gonna do it from scratch. No one is on board with the idea of it. There are just some people who are like, you know, it's just how things were. I suffered, so I'll make everyone else suffer, and I don't think that's good. Anyway, so my point being that who even says school is the best in their lives? The way my life as an adult will be worse than now. Yeah, it's pretty tragic to think. I always just think that as a school child, actually, like, oh, holy hell, like, if things do get worse from here, then that's pretty darn depressing. I think the truth is just, memory, the way it works, is you remember the good things, you remember the notable things, and there are more good, notable things during school than bad things. Like, I don't remember, although I do remember, actually, like, the first time I got set homework, and then, like, had to go through that panic of, like, I haven't done it. And it was always worth the panic versus actually doing it, because screw that, you know. It's weird that I can remember that. Like, I was like, you know, age 10 or something, and the teacher, she had like a very angry face, like all the time. Like maybe this is mean to say, but you know, I can probably remember her name actually. It was like Miss, like Stewartsby or something. You know what? You shouldn't have done it. If you'd have just not given me homework, I'd have loved learning for like way more years. And anyway, my point being, is you remember the good times, like, oh yeah, we played with friends all day. But the truth is that there's a lot of like involuntary, unfun stuff. Or maybe for some people it is like, because I think about it, like, why do people reminisce positively about things that are objectively terrible? And I feel like, again, school's not objectively terrible, but for most people it is, right? Like, it's the bane of most people's lives. And I think the big reason for that, homework is doing stuff you already did in class. I mean, homework's meant to be you go home and learn yourself, and you prove that you learned yourself. At least that's how it was in maths. But in other subjects, yeah, it was just like, hey, how about you waste half an hour of your time to prove that you can waste half an hour of your time because I tell you to? And it's like, no, thank you. Not down with that. Not my thing. But yeah, basically, I was thinking, like, I think you just always positively remember memories, and it's hard. The very slightly negative doesn't make as big an impact as the very positive. And because you forget so much, you just don't know what you forget because you can't remember what you don't remember, right? Like, it's a thing. I was thinking about that a lot, actually, like, because it's like a saying I say to my friends all the time, like, you don't remember what you don't remember. Because, I mean, it's true, right? Like, yeah, only remember the things. If you remember that you forgot something, it means you remembered it eventually, so you didn't forget it, if you get what I'm saying. But the truth is you've forgotten. If you think about back to like 10 years ago, you can remember like 10 events from that year or 20 events from that year. And there's like a million different things that happened. It's just you don't remember the things you don't remember. So there you go. There's a lesson. Actually, you know, I was thinking about memory recently, and one of the things I find to be fascinating about it is the fact that I don't think you actually remember how things happened. I think you remember your memories of how things happened. And that sounds crazy, but follow me here. So again, I need you chat because you need to tell me if this sounds accurate for you too. But I was thinking back to my very first ever memory. Well, not for this bit, for the second bit. But my very first ever memory was me being washed in the sink. Like, I don't know if this is a thing they do with all babies. I don't know if this even happened. Because, like, I asked my parents about it, and they're like, I don't know, actually. But I was washed in the sink as a 2-year-old, and that's my very earliest memory. The very first thing, if I think back all the way, is, oh yeah, at some point they washed me in the sink for some reason. But the truth is I don't remember that happening, because, like, I was, you know, however old I would be, like, 2 or something, or 3. I don't have the same frame of reference for a 2-year-old mind. My mind wasn't even developed at 2. Like, I bet my senses don't even have any link. But, so I'm not actually remembering the event. I'm remembering all the... when I was 4, I was like, oh yeah, I remember being washed in the sink. And then when I was 5, I was like, oh yeah, I remember being washed in the sink. Then I was like 7. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. That's my first ever memory now. And then since then, it's just always like stuck. And I was thinking, like, I only remember it because I keep thinking that I remember it, right? Like all these other memories I've come up with, it's not the first time I thought of them. Like sometimes that happens where you repress something. That's like a whole other thing. But a lot of the like memories that come to your mind, you don't remember them happening. Like it's not the very first time you ever thought about it. You're remembering the time you remembered it. Like when you think of a memory, you're like playing it back in your head, right? It's kind of like when you watch this video or this live stream, you're seeing what just happened, but you're not seeing it the same way I'm seeing it because you're seeing a recorded copy. It's kind of like that. If I was to think back on this live stream, I wouldn't be thinking back to the memory directly. Or actually, wait, the first time I would be, but then if I did it again, it would be like playing back that memory. Is that how everyone else does it, do you think? Or do you think I'm crazy? How do you know that? That would have been 20 years ago. It was 20 years ago. Yeah, I think, again, every other memory from when I was 1 to like 5, all gone now. Entirely gone. Which is kind of like scary on a like whole different level, that you can forget the vast majority. So that's like a quarter of my life now. The very first quarter, no recollection besides that one memory. And that one memory, I think it's fake because I'm just remembering I'm remembering a memory, memorizing a memory. I don't know. But yeah, tell me if that sounds about right, or if you think like, no, Toycat, nope, actually, I can remember it clearly the moment it happened. Toycat is a philosopher. I'm a really bad philosopher, if I am one. I will say that much. It's just, I don't know, I like to have these, I like to, you know, chill talk about Minecraft, because I feel like that's an important thing to do. Although you meant to, I probably should talk more about like Minecraft itself, actually. Because I know there are some people like, you know, actually, we like just philosophy. But, I mean, it's an easier way to like bring people into it. If you're like, oh yeah, well here's the 5 most damaging weapons in the game. And did you know also that, you know, the Siamese cats are basically the same as your... Anyway, thank you so much, Jonathan Murphy, for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate it, man. Yes, taking your first bath was in a sink. Was it coming back in the 90s? How was your trip? Did you meet the Lord of the Carolina Reapers? Yeah. See, my intention is never to meet any Carolina Reaper-based Lord again. I still to this day, you might think like, Toycat, you're exaggerating, but that was December 2016. We're in 2018 now, so not 2 years ago, but essentially 2 years ago. That still burns on me as like one of the most painful experiences ever. But if you think about it, I'm not remembering the chili pepper directly or whatever. I'm remembering a memory of that event. Actually, not when I remember that, I just like go watch the live stream and make sure I got it accurate. But like, it was like I was on fire. Like my throat, and I remember thinking to myself, one of the worst feelings in the world, for me at least, is when you're stuck in a state and you can't get out of it. Like, if you hurt yourself temporarily, so if you like, if you pinch yourself, it's like, but it's gone instantly. Like, I could pinch myself a million times, even if it really hurt, because it's fine, because it goes afterwards. But like, when you burn yourself, the amount it hurts afterwards is like so bad. And when you eat bad food or spicy food, and it messes you up for a while. At least that's my experience. So yeah, as far as, by the way, thank you one more time, Jonathan Murphy, for the super chat. But as far as chili peppers, no. I can't eat normal spicy food. I swear this. Again, I guess I'd have to speak to a doctor to know for sure. But when I eat like regular level spicy food, my stomach gets destroyed way more easily. Like, because I love spicy food. Spicy food is like an addiction. I have like Frank's Red Hot is my sauce of choice. I don't know if that's spicy to most people, but to me it's like there's a little bit of heat going on there. It's like the perfect blend of spice and taste, in my opinion. But anyway, so yeah, I even though I love hot sauce, it like destroys me now. I swear, it started as soon as I ate that Reaper. Like my body sent the signal of like, whoa, let's chill on this, dude. Because I had the worst Christmas day. Yeah, I did it on Christmas Eve because I was like, I'm so sure of this, I'll make a silly bet that I'll do it on Christmas. And yeah, my Christmas day was pretty darn pleasant. I'm not gonna get too much into that. It's okay. Remember when you used to use foul language? I do. The truth is like a lot of people think like, I guess they think. I guess with every issue, like if you never say something on it, then people are gonna think both wrong sides of it, like on one side and the other. The truth is it's like I'm not entirely opposed to the idea of like bad language, I guess, or whatever. But I feel like if you don't, like, my opinion changed from like, let's just, you know, I'll say it because I'm not gonna censor myself, to actually the more you save up saying it, when you do say it, everyone's like, whoa. Like, even if I say, here's the crazy thing, if I even say like the mildest thing, like I do on the second channel every now and then, people are like, whoa, that's crazy, don't expect to hear that. And you can use that to your advantage. Like, you essentially, the power of a swear word, or any word, I guess, any bad word, is what you like save it up to be. So think about rappers, they swear as in like song rappers. Just want to clarify in case you're like, oh, cleverly gonna make a comment about the rappers of Sweets or whatever. But no, if you think about people who rap, if you will, all of them, they swear every other, you know, like every sixth word is a swear. So it's just, it's normal to them. Like, there's no offense if they say anything. But if I say, you effing idiot, to someone right now, you're like, whoa, like, stuff is going really serious there. And I like that I have that power already. I can unleash it all at once now. It's kind of like, I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z in forever. Like, I watched it as a child a little bit. But you know how they have to charge up those, like, thingamajigs. Anyway, one more thing. I believe Jonathan Murphy also asked, how was your trip? My trip was wonderful. I feel a lot more rejuvenated after it, which is good. Like, I know I've said this before, and I don't stick to my own advice enough. But taking a break from anything, even the things you love the most, is the easiest way to remind yourself of what you love about it. And I got back and I was like, I can't wait to make some YouTube videos. So you know what I did today? My first proper day back. I did it yesterday too. I made some YouTube videos. I know I liked my day today a lot actually. So big thank you TCB15 Pro YT for the €2 super chat. My favorite thing about TCB15 Pro YT is it seems to be pretty much every stream they'll super chat. They're like, I'm enjoying it. I'll throw some money to help support it. But there's never a message attached. I have to like work it out myself. The TCB15 is European. They were either born in the year 2015 or they were 15 at one point, or 15 is just a number they like, you know? Maybe it's, you know, a particularly good year for something. And I know they're a pro, but that's it. I don't even know what TCB stands for. They've never left a message, just the super chats, which I appreciate, Mr. TCB man. Even if I don't understand anything that's going on with you, I do appreciate it regardless. So, yeah, we need to, I guess, keep on working on these, like, pathway blocks. I didn't realize just how much the path was just, like, roughly across the desert. So we'll make this go over here now. Have, like, every other block be a pathway. To at least have something connecting it, you know? So there, and then all the way across here. And then we'll turn all these into pathway blocks. And we want to make it so you can run across it on foot. Because right now, this is just like, you can't run across this. Even if you really want to. But now, we kind of can. So one sec. Got a thing. Always have to check what's going on there. So, yeah, it's okay. I get the same thing. One day I'm eating hot wings at KFC next. I'm feeling like a madman. I should have read that comment all the way through before reading it out loud. The hot wings at KFC aren't even that hot, though. Like, I hate to break it to you. Maybe we have different KFC. Well, we do have different KFCs. I'd hope. Unless you're... Wait, does your KFC have, like, orange chicken, too? Because my local one sucks. It's, like, the worst KFC. I swear. Like, I go to it anyway because it's so close to my house, but... it's really bad. It's really bad. It's one of the worst KFCs ever. But yeah, their hot wings are orange. But I buy like 6 of them, 10 of them, and I'll do it anyway. But yeah, tell me if those are yours. Maybe we have the same KFC, dude. I kind of don't want that. So okay, have you seen the new Bedrock beta? So Kaleko, you know, actually, since we're here, we got like dedicated live stream people. You know, I like to believe live stream people are a little bit more, at least into the channel, maybe dedicated. I don't know what I'd want to use, but since we got live stream people here, you can tell me this one. But oh, TCB15 stands for taking care of business. Elvis Presley invented it, says Unloosing Lion. I'm not sure if that's true. Oh, TSP Pro 15 said lol in the chat. That's all he said. He heard all of that and he said lol. Oh, I'm Irish. He's from Ireland. The land of Irish things. And I guess, yeah, I was going to say like maybe leprechauns too, but I hear that offends Irish people. So you know what? We won't say that, although there are leprechauns. I mean, actually not. Every now and then I want to look into a story like that. And I was going to do it at one point. Like, there's a full story. I think it was like a museum or something in Dublin. I was like, no, that's stupid. But I now want to know. Also, big thank you, Catherine Caramena. Is that Caramena? For the $1 New Zealand super chat. I looked up what a New Zealand dollar was a while ago, but I've forgotten it now. Fun fact, I've decided this, or like, it's like 75% decided, that when I visit, because I said I wanted to visit every continent this year. When I visit Australasia, whatever the continent's called, Australia, the continent, I think I want to visit New Zealand because, I don't know, I feel like that's the furthest away you can get from the UK. I think it's called a diapode, I think, the opposite sides of Earth. I think the UK and New Zealand are literally opposite sides of the planet. Actually, no, I think you can check that. I want to do that right now, so we'll do. Because we've got a lovely view at the sun. We'll claim we're just watching the sunset together. And I'm going to Google UK diapode. It's not, it's dipod? No, that's something else. UK opposite side of the world. It's going to be New Zealand, right? What's the other side of the world? Oh, antipodes. My bad. It's not diapodes, it's antipodes. So I'm just going to type in United Kingdom. The opposite side of the world is somewhere a little bit south of New Zealand. So the furthest away I can get from the UK and be on a landmass is being New Zealand. It's like the most absurd length of flights to get there. But because of, I know a way to get some cheap tickets for an absurdly long flight. I worked it out. I found the secret. And a lot of, you know, actually, okay, so this is going off topic on an off topic on a super chat. So this is this is next level Toy Cat going ADD on things again. But did I take my bed with me? I did. But basically, a lot of people were asking like, Toy Cat, how do you travel all these places? Like, you rich? Your parents got money? Did you just make it big on YouTube at some point? And the truth is, I mean, you can argue I made it big on YouTube, but that's the truth is it's like, oh yeah, well I know how to travel on a budget. So I'm thinking of like making some form of budget travel series. I don't know how to like make it work on YouTube, but that's like one of the goals for the future. You know, let's just sleep in this cave. Oh, there's a skeleton there. He was not there a second ago. But okay. Hello, friend. How's it going? Let's go to sleep now. So yeah, it's something I wanted to do because like a lot of people are like, Toy Cat, but traveling costs thousands of dollars, and I'm like, oh no, it's. And I realized like, even though to me travel seems so cheap because like I've been doing it for all these years and I've looked into all the cheapest ways to do stuff, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you just have to pay this much for that, and the first time they see a price, they're like, yep, sounds about right. Like it kind of irks me. Like there's some people like I watch and I keep up to date with like people who say budget travel, and they're like, oh yeah, I got a really good deal from, you know, America to the UK, only $1,000 for a round trip. And I'm like, oh my god, $1,000! Do you know what you can buy with $1,000? I don't know what you can buy with $1,000 US dollars, but I can imagine that's like, that's a lot of things. That's like, you know, a month's rent or something, or like, that's $1,000. Okay, chat. Tell me the most ridiculous thing you can buy with $1,000, and if you get the most, or not most ridiculous, like give me a good example, because I can't come up with one on the spot. Like, you can buy like a laptop or something, but like, I don't know, that's not as good. I live in New Zealand, says Ruben Blair. Do you live on the North Island or the South Island? Because I hear there's a rivalry. I always like countries that are like split into multiple bits like that, because then it's like, there's always like some form of rivalry, because like the countries secretly don't want to be together. Tell me what you can buy with $1,000, chat. I wanna prove how silly it is, but I can't come up with a good example. Like, I mean, that's a lot of money though, right? I mean, 1,000 of anything, even if I gave you 1,000, like, what's something cheap and meaningless? 1,000 pieces of coal, that's still like, that's like good. You can do a lot of things with that. TCP15 Pro YT says, with the €2 super chat, thank you for making good videos. Thank you for super chatting, man. You help support me make the good videos. And making, apparently, decisions to travel all the way to Singapore and stuff. But yeah, I really appreciate it, Mr. TCP15 Pro YT. The iPhone X. The iPhone X, that's a good example. Although, actually, you know, it's a bad example because the iPhone X, like, this isn't me being anti-Apple, although that's also a thing I am. But, like, an iPhone X is an expensive phone. Like, it's more expensive than every other phone, pretty much. And, like, phones are overpriced because people don't pay for them. Their network pays for them, and they pay the network back slowly. Toycat merch. You could buy 50 Toycat t-shirts. You're right. Jeez. I might randomly leave at some point because I use data to watch this and I don't have much. And I don't have Wi-Fi now. Sucks to hear that, Casey. I hope your internet situation gets better. There's a pizza that costs $1,000. Okay, like 100 pizzas, right? Like $10 a pizza. Does that sound right? 1,000 sliders off the $1 menu. Is that like a where is the $1 menu that has also what? Okay, chat. Okay, this is another thing. I'm gonna need just your help on this in a second. I don't understand what a slider is. Like I always hear the term slider, and I know now it means burger. But what's the difference between a slider and a burger? You could get a PC for 1,000. See, but you can also get a PC for 10,000 or 100. I want something that's like definitively costs 1,000. Like, you know, 50 pieces of Toycat merch. 50 pieces of Toycat merch. That's enough to last you if you wear 10 t-shirts. Like, oh wait, 7 t-shirts, one every day of the week, and you replace a t-shirt every, 3 months, let's say. I don't know if that's actually logical. That's enough Toycat t-shirts to last you for like 10 years. And instead, you can spend that on one flight to the UK or something. I forgot how I found out who you were, but I'm glad I did Toycat. It's one of my favorite questions to ask people in person. So if you expect to see me at like any convention, then it's probably gonna be one of the questions I ask. Because I'm always so curious. It's like, oh yeah, how did you run across the channel? But yeah, I'm glad you like it, Mr. Man. A small burger, but like. Then is a McDonald's burger a slider? Because they're really small. Like, you don't appreciate how small a McDonald's burger is until you see a real burger side by side. But how small does the burger have to be? Mini burger, says Kit Kats. So, is an expensive slider therefore extra expensive because it's a mini burger for high price? Like, I've seen, like, $10 or 10, whatever local currency it was. It probably was dollars. Like, a lot of the world uses dollars. Including New Zealand, apparently, as we learned from Catherine Caramena's super chat. But yeah, I guess one of the, I don't know, like it's just one of those terms where it's like there's something to this, and I don't know quite what. So okay, 1,000 things from the dollar store. See, but most of the things in the dollar store suck. I want something like quantifiable that everyone would want. Like an iPhone X is good because like. I kind of want an iPhone X, and I don't even like Apple stuff, just because it's like, ooh, what's going on there? Something fresh and new. That's exciting. New stuff is exciting. Can you speak German? Ich spreche Kleindeutsch. $1,000 of cheese. I wonder how much $1,000 of cheese actually is. Like, it's gotta be like. I don't know what cheese is even measured in when you buy it. I buy bags of it, like pre-grated, because I'm lazy. Here's how you know you've made it in life. When you can buy the pre-grated cheese, it's like a big splurge purchase, I'll be honest with you. But, like, having to grate your own cheese is the worst experience in the world. It hurts your fingers, because you're going to grate your fingers a little bit. And then, like, cleaning a cheese grater, that hurts your fingers too. And then you spend so much time doing it that you're like, wow, I saved like I don't know, like maybe you saved like £1 on a bag or something. But then your fingers are all like scratched up, and I feel like it's one of those. That's the moment where I was like, no, this is YouTube money extreme. When I realized I could buy grated cheese instead of regular cheese. There's a specific company, White Castle, that have sliders specifically. I've never been to White Castle. I only know about them because there's movies with White Castle in the name. I think it's like Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. And I've only ever watched like 10 minutes of the movie because someone like forced me to watch it or like showed it to me, and I was like, I'm not down with this, but I guess you really are. Also, look, when you're on the... This is something weird. When you're on the path block, it seems like you get... Oh, jeez, that wasn't what I wanted to do. I think you get... I think I get the boost from the ice, right? Yeah, look, it's slippery on the pathway block. That's so weird. And also the blocks underneath it go like this. I should make a whole nother video on like weird stuff you can do. I guess that's one of my favorite types of videos to make, actually, like lessons on what you can do with specific blocks. And I feel like they like died on YouTube. I don't know when, but it's something I've always wanted to bring back in some way. So expect to see one on the pathway block. Because the pathway block, every time I realize the things you can do with it, like there's a billion, I'm like, oh, that's exciting in here. So there you go. What's the pathway force? It's Torch 1057. If you read the description, you get a pro tip on that one. But it's between the two Woodland mansions. It's quite a long road, but I don't like the Nether route because it's kind of like boring. I guess it's pretty quick, but so instead I've been working on this huge Overland route because reasons. So if we just, okay, I'm gonna make myself. If I just mine some stone, then I could actually like cook up some iron and have another iron shovel. And given that like we probably want to do that anyway, I think, right? I imagine we do. Oh, big thank you Noah King for the Canadian $2 super chat, who says, Toy Cat, where's the next episode of Skyrim? It has been a long time since I played Skyrim. Like, I wanted to play it when it first came out for the Switch, but I was either busy that day, or I was like, really? They're still charging, you know, £40, $60 for it? The truth is whenever a game gets past a certain point of popularity, it kind of gets ruined for me, because I need to, like, I don't know, like, I like to enjoy games, but when I know that, like, oh yeah, there's a billion things you need to learn, and they kind of ruin it, I kind of have less fun with it. And Skyrim's at that level where people are like, oh yeah, we know the best way to level. There's like a prestige system in that game now, right? Where it's like, oh yeah, you've just got to do X, X, and Y. And I don't know, to me that's not, again, maybe this is me being like arrogant in my own little way, like, oh, you think you have to be the best at something. But I'd like to at least, you know, have a good shot at something. Because every now, the worst feeling in the world for me is when you realize you've done something the long way rather than the short way. If there is two options. I mentioned like how this works in school, where like if you actually put effort in something and you realize you could have cheesed it, that's the worst feeling. Like, oh, why did I actually try when I could have gone away with not? Like my favorite example, I give this every time, but when I was in college, long story, but I have a computer science something or other. I don't know what the international equivalent is, but I have a qualification of some variety in that. So they wanted you to write a whole like guide on how to do something, like 40 pages, to prove you could have that discipline. So as I got like a few pages into doing it, other people told me, oh yeah, what we did is we took our year's work and we made, because you know we're doing IT the whole year, we just copy pasted every piece of work we did this year and made it a guide on everything we wrote about this year. And then the teacher loved that, because like, wow, this is so well written. Because we had different teachers for every subject, so she had no idea. And it made me realize that, you know, I wish I'd just done that. And and maybe I did that at the end. I was like, you know, I'm just going to stop writing this guide and just move on to whatever else. But it was something where I realized that, you know, doing things the long way is never better than the slow way. Unless it's something you want to do. Like, if you like driving, for instance, and you want, it's £60. It's £60 for Skyrim? Whoa. But yeah, big thank you, Noah King, regardless. I wish I could tell you when the next episode of Skyrim was. Probably never. But maybe, you know, if they like, do another re-release of Skyrim, I'll try and play that. Like, I wish I played it on Switch when it first came out. Because, again, it's an opportunity. It's, I know, I wish I had, but I didn't. You know, yeah, I think Skyrim would be a fun game to play on the go. Like, it's like one of the selling points of the Switch almost. Like, oh yeah, you can play Skyrim. And because the big problem with Skyrim with me is I never have the time to play it because I'm always doing something. But like when I have my Switch, it's like downtime. Like I spend airport time on Switch. Oh, looks like there's two pathways here. Probably need to make it clear that this one isn't going anywhere. Okay, there we go. Is that good? That's good enough for me. So we'll just cut off enough blocks till we get to there. Make it clear that we're going. left over here. Kind of cut across over here. Finish this up. Again, this isn't clear enough. I need to just take a bunch of blocks and just do it that way. So yeah, we'll silk touch all of this, I guess. Make it more obvious what's going on here. And that's how we do things. Gold dusted popcorn is 1,000 for a tub. But you know, I would rather have a flight to... I'd rather spend 1,000 on a flight to America than I would on a tub of gold. But you know, if it was, you know, like iPhone X versus flights, maybe I'd like the iPhone X. For instance. You know, again, we still haven't got the perfect answer to what you can buy with 1,000. I can see my house in the distance. I'll probably get there in time so I don't have to leave the stream. I like to picture it's like an epic run to like get the internet. That's how I like to imagine things anyway. Who else watches Twigets live streams from beginning to end? Surprisingly few people actually. So 3,000 people. Oh, big thank you, the Blue King, for the $10 super chat. Oh, it'll do text to speech. Oh no, you didn't give it a message. Okay, big thank you for the $10 anyway. I'm glad you want to support the stream and the Let's Play, Mr. Blue King man. I really appreciate it. But if you do $10, pro tip, if you ever donate 10 via either donations or via super chat, it does text to speech, and therefore I don't even have to like read it myself. We got the lovely British woman person to do it. Which, by the way, this I didn't realize this was like only a UK thing. I honestly used to assume the like American GPSs and stuff like that had British accents too. Because let's be honest, if you want like to be told how to do something, you want a nice British voice to tell you. That's why I'm successful on YouTube. People are like, you know, I want to learn Minecraft facts, but all these Americans are just obnoxious. But this guy, even though he talks about toothpaste half the time and memories or whatever else, school, at the very least, he has the upside of you know, having that delightful accent where it sounds like he's cultured. That maybe he was raised on a polo field. A polo field? I think polo is a sport. And I don't know if it would be good to be raised on a polo field. But I mean, maybe that's sophisticated. I don't know. I'm not a business... Well, actually, I mean, I'm not a sophisticated person. I'm sorry. Although all British people do sound like we're like... We know what's going on, right? That's just the way these things work. I watch all the streams, says Froggy Fellow. Yeah, it's a... Oh. Random vines. So even though it seems like a lot of people might do that, you're in like a surprisingly exclusive club if you watch the whole streams. Because a lot of people like they only have 20 minutes to watch. So if you do manage to take the time out of your day, I appreciate it. That's what I'm here for. That's why I do these things. It's for you. That's right. You watching this, Tim or John? No, I'm just kidding. Freddie. Those are all like weird names. I should look up the most common names. Actually, you know, it's cheating. The most common name, just because of like demographics, is actually Mohammed. So like, but like, it's not fun to say you Mohammed because everyone else is gonna be like, whoa, Toykat's getting a bit religious here. It's like, you know, I don't like that. That's kind of true. Like, names should be funny. Names shouldn't be like that. Anyway, let's move on. I'm American. My GPS is set to Australian. See, Australian is like the opposite of British. Like, I don't mean to offend anyone here who's Australian, except here's me about to offend everyone here who's Australian. But I feel like, at the very least, like, Australian's like a slightly less civilized version of British. Again, usually, it's a broad generalization, but that's what I like to do most. But yeah, it's British, but with slightly less, again, the only way I can put it is like civilization to it. Like there's less niceties. It's more like, yeah, just saying it because it's good, mate. Sorry, taking out the donation train for me has stopped temporarily. I'm low on funds. My recommendation, if the daily pound donation is breaking you, you don't have to do it, man. I've said it before and I'll say it again, but I always prefer the system. Like a lot, it's surprisingly common and easy to make things turn into a guilt thing. Because the way the world works is by producing emotions from you. That's how news works. That's how TV works. That's how literally anything in the world you interact with works. Like, someone does X and that creates something inside you, and Sometimes the emotions are one you want to reproduce. Sometimes they're ones you just feel compelled to. And I feel like guilt is never a good one to go for. Personally, anyway. I mean, maybe just me. So it's always like, you know, can't donate. That's cool. You know, it's all good. you can do, like, if you gotta deal with your stuff, that's cool. And if you wanna support the stream, you can do that too. They're both options, you know, like. So yeah, hopefully that helps you out, man. Makes you feel better. Dude, most North Americans can better tell the difference between Australian and British accents. Yeah, literally earlier in the stream, someone was like, "Toy Cat, you must be from Australia." And it's like, I spot the American. Although, you know, I want to... Okay, so this is like video idea that I probably won't use, but like... It's one that was spiraling in my head today of like why Americans are so bad at geography. Because it's just a well-known fact, right? That like... again, this... I know it sounds like I'm just picking on Americans here. I swear I'm not, except I am. But a lot of Americans are particularly bad with world geography. And there's a lot of reasons as to why. But like, you know, it's not necessarily just ignorance. It's just partially that, you know. But there's also other reasons. Whereas, you know, like, a lot of the world, at the very least, even in Europe, like, we know the surrounding country. Actually, we don't in the UK. It's funny, there's like, even like learning all the members, like all the countries in the EU, it's something we do like really late on. Like, I never did it, and my friends did it in like politics class, because I guess for politics you gotta learn European politics or whatever. So there you go, fun fact. So as you can see, the pathway, it's like pretty much done now. We're about to hit the Woodland Mansion, and it's pretty clear the entire route, I would say. Like, I'm pretty certain about that. Like, there's no points where you can really lose the pathway now. Because in the videos, they're 20-minute things. I kind of like, you run out of time to do things. Whereas of this, we've basically just been able to go from start to finish and get things going. Okay, let's do this. We're so close to the end here. And then we have to just go back over one more time. And then we'll do one big walkthrough before we end, because, again, I feel like there's a beauty to having pathways in Minecraft. I'm not bad at geography because I watch IVX 2Cat. Yeah! It's actually funny though, because like, on this channel, so again, the average demographic of a Toy Cat viewer, if it's a Minecraft video, it's 60%. Wait, I can check actually right now. So I'll show you the sunset again. Or the sun. I mean, the sun's like basically setting. So we can look at... Wait, you can look at the Woodland Mansion. You can examine it for me. Spot any anomalies maybe. Maybe there's a room with like a diamond block. Tell me, look inside. See what you spot. 59% of my viewers are from America. And that goes up every month, I think. I'm not sure why. It's just one of those observations. Then 13% from the UK, 5.1% from Canada, etc. But when it comes to like caring about, like, so people who care, you know, it's not quite average YouTube demographic, but it's average Toy Cat demographic. But if I'm talking about geography, that dips from 60% down to like 23% or something. And it's still the highest, like most, it's the, oh, I know the word. It's the plurality, not the majority. And if you don't know what that means, plurality, largest single part, but not the majority. Majority is over 50%. Plurality is the largest single. So if, you know, if 40% of people like cheese, 30% of people like sliders, and 30% of people like iPhone X's, the plurality of people like, did I say cheese first? I mean, everyone likes cheese, so that's a bad example, because the majority of people like cheese. If you don't like cheese, I hate to break it to you, but you know, you're in the wrong. Like, oh, I left my bed in that cave. Well, I mean, you know, let's fly back over this route. It'll be fun. Let me show you all the work we've done. Oh, that rhymed. How beautiful. So yeah, as you can see, the pathway, it's pretty easy to follow the entire way through. We'll see the bits where it's not, and we'll work on those a bit more. Across here probably needs some work. On this mountain, yeah, this mountain we're gonna go through. But yeah, somewhere around here, I have a bed. I hope, at least. Otherwise, we'll just run in the dark. I mean, I'm down with that, sure. Whatever, we'll run in the dark. That works, that works. So, 18 from... Oh, anyway, the point I was making is about... So, the demographics, they shift. Because I guess people who care about the world significantly, it doesn't include people in America. Like, huge drop-off, people are like, why do I want to know about other countries? And so like the second biggest country is the UK, and then it's like Germany. I know it's interesting because it does mirror what you would stereotypically expect people to care about, you know, countries and stuff. Like Germany cares about countries more because they surround. You know, like America borders 2 countries, the UK borders 1 country, and even that 1 country, it's like kind of similar to our own country and borders the part of our country most similar to it. You know, the US borders 2, and it really likes one of them and really doesn't like the other one. But Germany borders like 9, so you gotta bear that in mind. Same with like Poland, borders 7 or something, so there's a lot of Polish viewers. I think that's the biggest thing in what decides how much you care about geography, right? Like how many countries are around yours. Because I think a lot of people don't even realize necessarily that like other countries are a big thing. Which sounds ridiculous. Okay, so I picked up the bed somewhere along the road and placed it down again. So guess what? Nighttime thing. Big thank you, Joey, for the £5 super chat. Love your videos. Have you heard MCPE 1.13 will be delayed, but we'll have all the aquatic features? Mean we'll have the aquatic features early. Yes, I did hear that. I actually made a video on it yesterday. Again, I'm not going to blame you for not watching it, because I know YouTube algorithms and, you know, it doesn't necessarily show you it if it doesn't get it whatever % of viewers. That's fine. You know, I'm used to YouTube nonsense. But I have heard that, yes. Also, it's 1.13 for the Java edition and 1.3 for the PE. It's confusing, okay? But yeah, that's the answer to your question. Big thank you for the super chat. I have heard of it, and yeah, there you know. I would recommend buying a Toy Cat hoodie. I would not recommend running home wearing it in Florida. Oh yeah, I've been meaning to look up what the temperature is in Florida, because I know it in California. Like, I want to get a rough feel for like what the temperature is any time of the year in like the most populous countries, so I can be like, well, this and that. But I'm gonna guess. Actually, right now, so we'll do like, I've heard of Tampa. That's probably like the capital. Like, no, Fort Lauderdale is the capital of Florida. Let's do like, right now, guess the temperature. So it's summer. No, it's winter in Florida, but they're close to the equator, so it probably doesn't matter. I'm gonna guess 23 degrees Celsius. So I know we should be like dealing with sleep, but I like to play fun games. So FLL, I think is its abbreviation. Temperature. 22 degrees. What did I guess? I swear I said 23, right? Did I just nail that? I think I just nailed that. Boom, go me. And that's like so suspiciously close. I wouldn't believe it. I'd be like, wow, look at Toy Cat just setting up numbers so we can seem smart about temperatures. See, I should be a gambling man. That's clearly what we've learned right here. Speaking of gambling man, I went to a like Chinese casino recently. Not because, you know, gambling is fun, but because, I mean, you can debate that one, but because you know, you just get curious, and like there's something extra funny about like seeing foreign games, because you know everyone knows roulette, everyone knows like blackjack, because there aren't enough video games. Which is weird by itself, right? Like, everyone knows how to gamble because of video games. Like, that's just a given. But what's weirder, in my opinion, so we have to still get some more dirt. And we'll take the dirt from... I guess we should take all of this dirt? Or this grass, maybe? I'm not sure. We need to take it from somewhere where it actually makes positive change. So I guess we take all of this, maybe? Whatever, we'll work something out. You nailed it. I am extremely good at my temperature guesses. Tallahassee's the capital. What's Fort Lauderdale then? Fort Lauderdale's something, right? One sec, I'm gonna Google. That was honestly amazing. What is Fort Lauderdale then? Like, I've heard of... I know it's one of those like non-cities. It's a city on its coast known for beaches and boating canals. The Strip is a promenade running along the Oceanside Highway. Oh, it's just a random city. Okay, this is the thing I hate most about America. Like, actually, there's many things I hate more. But this is one of the minor grievances I have. Is that, like, the capital of every state. Because I made a video once. I had to private it, because, like, Americans hate it when you get their state capital wrong. It is the most offensive thing that you could ever infer their state capital as something other than it is. But it's never the biggest city. Most countries have the rule of like, oh yeah, capital should be the biggest city because, you know, the lawmakers should be doing, you know, speaking to the people who do the business. It's a common practice. Makes a lot of sense. But in America land, it's like, no, we have a town of like 16 people that has our capital, and we think it's really good for that town of 16 people. But then it's like, but what about all the other people, the people who live in the area that are doing the things that make the state big? Well, I mean, they're doing pretty fine already. And it's like, well, I mean, if you have to prop up, whatever. And anyway, I can debate all day about America and its tiny towns. But yeah, it annoys me a little bit. Disclaimer: Toycat doesn't promote gambling. But if you are gonna gamble the Chinese way because it's way more interesting to watch. I'm just throwing that out there. Throwing that out there. This map has a clearer path than Brexit. It's quite late in Britain. It's 9 PM and after this stream, I think I'm gonna go like right to sleep because I'm still like my mental time zone's still a bit broken. I woke up at 3 AM today, and I would recommend waking up at 3. Like, I got everything I need to get done in a day done by like 11 PM. Wait, 11 AM. It's not 11 PM yet. And then it's like, wow, look at all this free time I've got. So, Fort Lauderdale's a very dangerous city. Is that true, or is that one of those like random rumors? It's okay, it's worrying me. Why am I worrying you, JR? JTM? I'm making too many comments. Why would you expect to know the state capitals? You don't live here, and I don't think all of us get annoyed by it. I feel like there's too many state capitals, and like some people, I don't know if everyone does know them, but it's like, anyway, that's enough. Stayed in America for 4 years, flunked my capitals test when I was here. There's a capitals test? Okay, wait, I'm gonna do this right now. I'm gonna guess that the capital of New York is New York City. Gonna guess the capital of Rhode Island is a place called Rhode Island. No, wait, it's probably... See, I should look up a big list. Because I know a surprising number of the capitals, and it's always like random city. It's like, I don't know, it's tricky, okay? Most countries, they work easy. In Scotland, Edinburgh is the capital, even though it isn't the biggest city. But it's very close to being the biggest city, and the real biggest city is kind of like a depressing place. So, you know, it makes sense on that level. Sorry anyone watching this who's from Glasgow. But actually, you know, I really like Glasgow. Like, it has the reputation for being like the worst place in the UK. And I actually like my visit there quite a bit. I mean, it has Five Guys and it has Tim Hortons now, so like, who's really got the good stuff going on in the UK? Same in Canada, Ottawa's our capital. It's relatively close to Toronto, which is much bigger, so why couldn't it be that one? Oh no, yeah, that's the other one I got wrong. Maybe it's a North American thing. But I said Toronto was the capital in one video. Well, I would actually. But I think the crazy thing is that Toronto is the capital of the region in which Ottawa is, if that makes any sense. Again, I don't know if so. I'm guessing here. I'm not gonna keep guessing though in case everything goes horribly wrong. New York's capital is Albany. Well, I tried. You know, it should be New York City. You know, because it'd be New York, the capital of New York. It would be perfect. It'd be perfect. So we're gonna get a few more bits of dirt, and then we're gonna finish this up now, because we've done a pretty decent job. Oh, this is ugly. I don't know why this is so ugly, but this hurts to look at, right? Can we all agree on that? People from Glasgow are very funny. Elite banter. I like that, like, Glasgow's the common ground of, like, you can make fun of it with Scottish people. Like, I think it was, like, Minecon, like, just randomly, like, sat down at the same table as all the 4J guys they hadn't met before. And I was like, so, you know, the fun fact about Glasgow is that everyone dies, like, 10 years early. And they're like, that's not a fun fact. And I'm like, I know. Isn't that nice, though? You know, it's a good icebreaker. Glasgow's... Scotland conversation. You know, I feel like you can bond more with some people over what you don't like more than what you do. And apparently Glasgow's on everyone's list. So pro tip. Oh, actually, you know, pro tip. Go to Glasgow because it is the biggest city, and it's not quite as nice as the capital, but I think it's the birthplace of the chicken tikka masala, the most popular curry in the whole world. That's right, the most popular curry in the world, invented in Scotland. Tallahassee is the capital of Florida. What? I still want to know what Fort Lauderdale is then, because I swear in my head, like, it was dug into my head, like, oh yeah, it's the capital of Florida isn't Orlando, it's Fort Lauderdale. Because they've got an airport there or something. A pretty cheap one or something. Oh, it's the Miami metropolitan area. Oh, so it's essentially in Miami. The city's a popular tourist destination with a year-round temperature of 75.5 degrees and 3,000 hours of sunshine a year. Okay, well, let's look up crime. Let's make sure that's not going on. So, again, I'm going to... It's weird to try and look up a place while doing this. You know, let's just save that for some geography video. At some point, I'll cover the US. Probably not anytime soon. Do you hate Podzol? I think it's good decoration. I've never really used Podzol, but I don't have anything too strongly against it. So as you can see, we pretty much finished the part. Oh, man. I hate falling into the ocean because it's a long way to get back up. What are we doing? I just joined. Sadly, we're near the end of the stream, Anderson Jason. So thank you for joining the stream. But today's been a lot of fun. But I am like still so tired. Like I said, I woke up at 3 AM today. Not the time of day I recommend waking up. Actually, no, wait. It is the time of the day I recommend waking up. Because like, you get so much done. And then by the time it's like, you know, lunchtime. Although I cooked lunch at like 8 AM. Which you could argue is just breakfast. But let's not get into semantics. But yeah, I had a great day today. But the downside of waking up at 3 AM is you're probably going to be tired by 9 PM, which is where I am right now. I think I went the wrong way here. So, yeah, one more thing I want to do before we go, actually, though, is I want to get a few more lily pads, because again, this almost goes all the way to the temple, but it doesn't quite go all the way. So we'll get, like, 6 more lily pads. I think, yeah, 6 is the right number. That's the number we need. Some random lily pad here for some reason. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, like, walk over. Oh, I don't have the boots on, that's why. Okay, we're going to walk over to the swamp. We're just going to take a few of those lily pads, because I think there's a few left. And, oh no, wait, maybe I got all of them when I was here before. Oh no, I did. I got every single lily pad. Well, I wish I hadn't said that now. Because now it's just a thing I didn't do. But yeah, I want to finish that little thing off there, that branched to the ocean monument. And I want to, like, do something with this. But I don't know what yet. So, for now, this is the end of this episode. As you can see, we've... No, this is still not quite right. Like, we need a few more blocks. So you can do it by jumping from block to block. Because again, it's too much dirt required to do it the way. Okay, that's not right. Pick that up, place it there. But yeah, I think we made a lot of progress today. We basically finished the pathway. I say basically because it's not quite technically done, but whatever. We basically finished. It's good enough for me. And I had a lot of fun talking about the stuff, and I appreciate everyone who came along to talk about the world at school. And I think we had Minecraft talk in there. Maybe we didn't. Maybe we should do that next time. But yeah, for now, this has been a lot of fun. I hope you all enjoyed it, because I'll see you all next time at the bottom of the ocean. Goodbye.